story is based on a true incident about a young man who could see death approaching closely. The story begins in a crowded restaurant in the city where suddenly a terrifying messenger of hell appears. This creature only comes to places where a major disaster or death is about to happen. It starts moving quickly among the people in search of its next victim. The strange thing is that the ordinary people sitting in the restaurant are laughing and enjoying themselves and have no idea about this horrifying presence. But Thomas, who works there as a cook, is extremely scared because he has a sixth sense through which he can see dead people and these demonic creatures. He hides and starts keeping a close eye on every move of this creature out of fear that the demon might see him. After circling the entire restaurant, this demonic creature stops near Thomas's girlfriend Stony. Thomas's heart sinks. He realizes that his girlfriend is in danger. To hide his identity, Thomas pretends to throw a flying kiss in the air which confuses the creature and it temporarily leaves Stony alone. However, the demon becomes suspicious of Thomas. It comes very close to Thomas's face and tries to examine him to see if this human can see it. Thomas's heart is beating rapidly, but he keeps a stone-like expression on his face to hide the secret of his third eye. He knows that these creatures are not like normal spirits. They feed on bad omens and the energy of impending death. If they find out that a living person can see them, they brutally kill him. With his best acting skills, Thomas manages to save his life for now. As soon as Stony gets up from the table and leaves, the creature starts following her again. Then the restaurant door opens and a mysterious man in a suit enters. Such a strong smell of death is coming from that man's body that the demonic creature immediately leaves Stony and turns towards him. Thomas sees that behind that one man, an entire army of hell's messengers has appeared. They are surrounding him like a messiah, as if encouraging his mental evil even more. Thomas had never seen so many demons together before. It was clear that a major massacre was about to happen in the city. Aware of everything, man buys 2 tubs of ice cream from a shop and leaves the mall. Strange thing is that as soon as he steps out of the mall, those demons suddenly stop and turn towards Thomas as if they had received an order. Then they suddenly open the door of hell and disappear. Thomas picks up his scooter and follows that man, reaching a deserted house outside the city. The man goes out, Thomas breaks the lock and enters inside. Scene inside the house is extremely scary and messy. In the ashtray, cigarettes of 3 different brands are found. From this, Thomas understands that some other dangerous companions are also with that man. Suddenly, Thomas feels an icy cold sensation behind him. Screaming and shouting sounds come from the adjacent room. He sees that thousands of writhing souls are entering the room through the door handle and freezing the entire room like ice. Thomas gathers courage and opens that frozen door where he sees a glowing black hole on the wall. As soon as he tries to put his hand into it, black flames and tentacles try to pull him inside. Thomas saves his life and runs away from there. He hides and watches as those demonic creatures have returned and brought even more dangerous companions with them from hell. Thomas immediately goes to the police chief, who knows about his powers. The chief finds out that the suspect man's name is Mushroom Head, but the compulsion of the law is that without any crime or evidence, the police cannot arrest anyone. The chief can only send a new constable, E, for investigation. In the midst of tension, Thomas tries to spend some time with his girlfriend Stony on the roof of the church, but then he sees that Mushroom Head is coming towards the church angrily. Thomas fears that the man might have found out that Thomas was following him. Both of them hide inside the church. After a few moments of silence, suddenly the door on which Stony was leaning starts shaking violently, as if someone is trying to break it and come inside. Scared, Thomas and Stony run out of the church and quickly leave on their scooter. Thomas is now racing against time. He has to not only save his own life and his girlfriend's life, but also stop the great destruction planned by Mushroom Head and the army of hell. While escaping to save his life, Thomas calls the police chief and tells him that Mushroom Head is trying to attack him in the church. The chief immediately reaches the church with the police force, but they are shocked to see the scene there. The church hall is completely destroyed. furniture is lying broken, but the strange thing is that there is no sign of Mushroom Head there, and no evidence of him being present is found. Then Officer Simon comes to Thomas and says that the chief has sent him to gather information about Mushroom Head. During the conversation, Thomas's girlfriend Stoney's eyes fall on a strange tattoo on Simon's hand. When she asks its meaning, Simon gets nervous and avoids the question by saying that it is just a normal tattoo. On the way home, Stoney becomes emotional. She is scared of living with Thomas in the midst of these dangerous shadows and fears losing him. Then the scream of a woman is heard from nearby. Thomas sees two ferocious dogs attacking a woman. Before Thomas can save her, the dogs kill her. Then a bald man arrives with a gun and shoots the dogs. When the police arrive, it turns out that the dead woman is none other than Officer Eagle's girlfriend. Thomas remembers that these were the same dogs he had seen at Mushroom Head's house. Now the police had solid evidence to arrest Mushroom Head. When Thomas returns to his home, he finds a revolver lying on the floor. The bathroom light is on. When he goes inside to check, his senses are blown away. Mushroom Head's dead body is lying in the bathtub. Thomas cannot understand that if Mushroom Head is dead, then who attacked him in the church? Looking at the condition of the body, it seems that he had died a long time ago. Then Thomas realizes that the one he saw in the church was not Mushroom Head, but his wandering soul. A conspiracy has been hatched to frame him. So instead of calling the police, he hides the body in an old jail. The number of Hell's messengers has now increased on the streets. This is a sign that a big disaster is about to happen. Thomas reaches the police chief's house for help, but an ambulance is already parked there. The chief has been attacked and is in a coma. Thomas goes back to Mushroom Head's house to find clues. There, Mushroom Head's spirit attacks him. Souls cannot hurt directly, they can attack by moving things. Somehow escaping, Thomas returns to the jail and examines the body. He finds the same tattoo on Mushroom Head's chest that was on Officer Simon's hand. This tattoo belonged to the Sons of Darkness, a fanatic group that worships destruction. Thomas understands that the attack will happen at a crowded place. He heads towards the mall. Behind the mall, Thomas finds Simon's police car. When he goes inside, he sees that all the security guards have been killed. A masked man attacks him, whom Thomas takes down. When he removes the mask, it turns out that the man was the same constable who had tried to kill the chief in the hospital earlier. As soon as Thomas reaches the main area of the mall, he sees that thousands of evil shadows have filled the place. Suddenly, screams break out. All the doors of the mall are closed so that no one can escape. Then one attacker starts firing bullets indiscriminately with a rifle. Stoney is also in his range. Thomas takes out his revolver and with shaking hands fires at the attacker. The messengers of hell try to stop Thomas, but Thomas gathers courage and shoots down the attacker. However, when he looks towards Stoney's shop, he sees nothing but bullet marks and destruction. Stoney is nowhere to be seen. Thomas's heart sinks at the thought that she might have also become a victim of this shooting. Worried, Thomas enters the shop where his girlfriend Stoney works. He is scared that she has been killed, but then Stoney safely comes out from under the counter. Thomas breathes a sigh of relief, but he immediately realizes that the danger is not over yet. Then he sees the spirit of Constable Egg's dead girlfriend. She is trying to tell Thomas something. Thomas removes the mask of the attacker whom he had just killed and is shocked to see that it is not Simon, but the bald man who had killed the dogs. He was also part of this conspiracy. Following the spirit of the dead woman, Thomas reaches the loading area of the mall. There he finds a large truck parked. With the help of the truck driver, when he opens the rear door, his senses leave him. The entire truck is filled with bombs. Only 3 minutes are left on the timer of the bomb. Thomas understands that the shooting in the mall was only to divert people's attention. The real purpose was to blow up the entire mall with this massive bomb. The messengers of hell were present there to ensure this destruction. Then an evil shadow enters the body of Constable Simon Khan and, while controlling him, shoots and kills the truck driver. Thomas somehow enters the cabin of the truck amidst the shower of bullets and connects the wires to start the engine. He starts driving the truck towards a deserted area away from the mall. Simon also climbs onto the truck and fires at Thomas, but the shot misses. When only 10 seconds seconds are left for the explosion, Simon bends down to pick up his fallen gun. Taking advantage of this moment, Thomas jumps out of the moving truck. The very next moment, the truck explodes with a massive blast. Simon and the evil shadows present with him are consumed in the ball of fire. Thomas falls unconscious on the ground. When Thomas opens his eyes on the hospital bed, he finds himself in the arms of his girlfriend Stoney. The whole city is treating Thomas as a hero who saved thousands of lives. Thomas and Stoney are celebrating happily together in their home, as if everything has become fine. But then the police chief comes to meet Thomas. There are tears in the chief's eyes, and he tells Thomas a truth that breaks his heart. He said, "Thomas, now you have to stop this. The police have finally found her body." The truth was that Stoney had been killed in the first shooting that happened in the mall. Thomas's third eye had given him the chance to live with Stoney's spirit. Thomas was unable to accept this truth, and due to the shock, he had started considering his girlfriend's soul as reality. Now the time had come for Stoney's spirit to depart from this world. Thomas's heart breaks badly. He cries and gives his girlfriend's soul a final goodbye. Stoney's spirit slowly becomes faint and disappears, leaving Thomas completely alone in the room. A hero who saved the city but lost his own world. Thomas still sees those spirits, but the most beautiful part of his life has gone forever. Friends, how did you like this story? Do tell me in the comments. If you want to watch such stories, then subscribe to the channel.